We don't ever talk about why. Sometimes we talk about the people and all that and the instruments, and we talk about how we record. But I think we should spend more time talking about why. The thing I love about Carson is that he's come to bring your song for years, even sometimes when he didn't even play. The other thing I always put on the cards, you know, the cards we fill out for everybody, always would put on there how poised he is in his music. I think there's a lot to be learned from that. It's a real privilege to have Carson be our featured artist tonight, and I wanted to throw out some love at him.
I had a dream, I said tomorrow, who do you wanna be? I said surprise me. I said we'll shake it up, we'll make it up like our fantasies. Okay, surprise me.
The arrangement says just as much as the words do, and so that has to be part of the songwriting. I think I've done it a couple times, but I've rarely ever just written lyrics and not thought about the arrangement. It's always been one of the same to me, and that was definitely something that I would do when I played with those bands. I do like to sort of hire people for session work. In the past, I used to play everything. Then I got way into the guitar. Here's the general vibe of how I want it to go, and then I let them do their thing. I might say like, hey, instead of using that guitar, use this one. Or, hey, maybe take it slower there, try this instead. And I've never had a problem with that, so that's usually how I do that. Every time I write a song, a little world gets created in my head, and there's nothing undefined or vague about it, and I sort of work backwards a little bit. I know the point I want to make, and I know where it has to end up for that point to be made. It's either verbal or melodic. So it either comes from a music pitch or like a phrase that I'll think of. Something about that will strike me as interesting, and it'll strike me as untapped waters that I should pursue. I'll go explore it and see if there's anything there. I've also had it before where I've sat down and I'm trying to figure out how to get to this point that I'm thinking of, and then a completely different idea will strike me right then and there that has nothing to do with what I thought I was about to write about. And that idea just goes. And when that happens, I always allow it. I always go with wherever the momentum is.
This is Andrea Nicole King.
Hello.
She's a recording artist that is working here at the studio, and she saw me editing the interviews and all that, and she said, please get out of the way now.
Yeah, I pushed him, and that's why his back is messed up.
That's right.
That's how he ended up where he's at right now.
She's a brute.
As a songwriter myself, diving into these videos and editing them, I think one of the greatest takeaways, how everyone's process is a little different. The difference between Carson's and Bob's and even Karen's, being able to take from some of those ideas and incorporating it not only into my own music, but sharing it with other people. And
so thank you for all you're doing to help.
It's been a pleasure.
I said surprise me.
I have had writer's block. I wrote this song for Bring Your Song. The song before that, when I finished that song, it had been a year since I wrote a song. I went a whole year without writing a song. And then out of nowhere, that song showed up in my head and I wrote it. Anytime I've ever experienced writer's block, I just wait and it ends. I don't try to say like I have to write a song today. I've always just let it happen, I guess. Life's gonna throw me something that's gonna be a song. Life never has a shortage of things to throw at you that you can turn into music. A big one for many years was Kevin Parker, Canton Ohio. His was more of an auditory thing. Thought he was a great lyricist, but I was heavily influenced by the sound of his mixes. John Mayer for a few years. Dave Matthews I was huge on for a while. One of my favorite lyricists is Jackson Browne. Bruce Springsteen is a huge one for me, always has been. What usually happens is I get really, really into one of them. For a span of a few months to a couple years, everything I write and like try to play, it sounds too much like them. I'm so self-aware of that. I'm really not trying to copy them right now. Like I really don't like that. 'Cause I know that I have my own thing going on, but I can't find it right now because I'm super into this person's work. And they're infiltrating my process too much. But then once that phase is over and I'm not as interested in their music, what's left is a piece of what they can teach me. The lessons that their music taught me is now a part of where I come from. Whatever there is to be gained from that, I've taken.
We're coming out of the season of Thanksgiving, and I would be remiss if I didn't talk about how blessed we are to have Anya as a part of the team here at REALGREY Records. In the process of not just writing music, but producing music, there's a lot of opportunities to do better. One of the things we needed to do better is to put people in a place where they can succeed. And one of the ways we do that is Anya provides coaching, not only for songwriting, but also for project management. I just wanted to put that out there.
I'm fascinated with getting at things that people are afraid to talk about. And I've always wanted to get people to look at things that they're ignoring, look at what's happening in your mind and the minds of everyone around you. Look at what we're all collectively experiencing but not talking about. I don't think I know better. I think it's you know and you won't say. And here's a way that we can talk about it. Some of the things that I think about are interesting and people need to hear them. I did that with the song that I wrote for Bring Your Song. I chose a different sort of feel that I normally go for because I thought the point of the song called for it. I decided what genre the song is based upon the purpose of the song. I was in an English class my junior year of high school. One of the things my teacher said, always ask yourself, what is the purpose? I applied that to songwriting. Like there to be a direction and something that you're trying to achieve with the song. Whatever genre suits the purpose is the genre that I'll put it in. And whatever genre I happen to be obsessed with about in that phase of my life. I think that this particular sound is cool and everything that I write sort of fits that magically just because that's the space my head's in during that phase. The lyrics are the verbal message. Everything else is conveying the same message too in a different way. The lyrics are the actual words you're hearing, but the guitar should be saying the same thing. The drums should be saying the same thing. Piano should be saying the same thing. And that's what I think makes a song great, is if everything works together and if the momentum serves the purpose. I'm a huge fan of not getting to the point too early, but explaining why the point is an important point to make in the first place. I think that after you listen to the song, you should feel that you have been enlightened to something. Light has been shed on an area that was dark, that maybe you've never thought about or felt before. Something in you should be different, or you should realize something after you've heard a good song. Sometimes it doesn't need to be super profound. It does need to leave you with something.